Chapter 5 Land Acquisition, Section 16 Procedure for Acquisition of Private Lands. The purpose of acquisition of private lands, the following procedures shall be followed. After having identified the landowner and the beneficiaries, the DER shall send its notice to acquire the land of the owners thereof by personal delivery or registered mail, and post the same in a suspicious place in the municipal building and barangay hall of the place where the property is located. Said notice shall contain the offer of the DER to pay a corresponding value in accordance with the valuation set forth in Section 17, 18, and other pertinent provisions hereof. Within 30 days from the date of receipt of written notice by personal delivery or registered mail, the landowner, his administrator, or representative shall inform the DER of his acceptance or rejection of the offer. If the landowners accept the offer of the DER, the Land Bank of the Philippines or LBP shall pay the landowner the purchase price of the land within 30 days after he executes and delivers a deed of transfer in favor of the government and surrenders a certificate of title and other monuments of title. In case of rejection or failure to reply, the DER shall conduct summary administrative proceedings to determine the compensation for the land by requiring the landowner, the LBP, and other interested parties to submit evidence as to the just compensation for the land within 15 days from the receipt of the notice. After the expiration of the above period, the matter is deemed up submitted for the decision. The DER shall decide the case within 30 days after it is submitted for decision. Upon receipt by the landowner of the corresponding payment, or in case of rejection or no response from the landowner, upon the deposit with an accessible bank designated by the DER of the compensation cash or in LBP bonds in accordance with this act, the DER shall take immediate possession of the land and shall request the proper register of deeds to issue a transfer certificate of title or TCT in the name of the Republic of the Philippines. The DER shall thereafter proceed with the redistribution of the land to the qualified beneficiaries. Chapter 6 Compensation, Section 17 Determination of Just Compensation. In determining just compensation, the cost of acquisition of the land, the current value of property, its nature, actual use, and income, the sworn valuation by the owner, and the tax declaration and the assessment made by the government assessor shall be considered. The social and economic benefits contributed by the farmers and the farm workers and by the government to the property, as well as the non-payment of taxes or loans secured from any government financing institution on the said land shall be considered as additional factors to determine its valuation. Section 18. The valuation and mode of compensation. The LBP shall compensate the landowner in such amounts as may be agreed upon by the landowner and the LBP in accordance with the criteria provided for in Section 16 and 17 and other pertinent provision hereof, or as may be finally determined by the court as the just compensation for the land. The compensation shall be paid in one of the following modes, as at the option of the landowner. Cash payments under the following terms and conditions. For the lands above 50 hectares in so far, 25% cash the balance to be paid in government concern. For lands above 24 hectares, 30% balance to be paid in government financial instrument negotiable at any time. For lands 24 hectares and below, 35% cash the balance to be paid in government financial instrument negotiate at any time. Shares of stocks in government owned or controlled corporation, LBP, preferred shares, physical assets, or other qualified investments in accordance with guidelines set by the PARC. Tax credits which can be used against any tax liability. LBP bonds shall have the following features. Market interest rates aligned with 91-day treasury bill rates. Then that should the landowner choose to undergo the cash portion, whether in full or in part, he shall be paid correspondingly in LBP bonds. In case of extraordinary inflation, the PARC shall take appropriate measures to protect the economy. Section 19. Incentive for voluntary offers for sale. Landowners other than banks and other financial institutions voluntarily offer their lands for sale shall be entitled to an additional 5% cash payment. Section 20. Voluntarily land transfer. Landowner or agricultural land subject to acquisition under this act may enter into a voluntarily arrangement for direct transfers of their lands to qualified beneficiaries subject to the following guidelines. In the event they cannot agree on the price of the land, the procedure for compulsory acquisition is provided in Section 16 shall apply. The LBP shall extend financing to the beneficiaries for purposes of acquiring the land.